Today's lesson is lesson 3 of the distributive property. We're going to learn how to use the distributive property to simplify expressions. And we're also going to learn how to combine like terms. We're going to find out what a term is, what a like term is. So, distributing. Distributing in a word is just multiplication. So my examples here, we would read this as 2 times the quantity x plus 5. The quantity means we're adding together. It also means that we're putting this in parentheses. So 2 times x would make 2x. 2 times 5 would make 10. If our number on the outside is on the other side, it doesn't make any difference to what we would do. We would still multiply 2 times x and get 2x. And 2 times 5 to get 10. Multiplying x times x, we get x squared. And multiplying x times negative 4, we would get negative 4x. Multiplying y times y, we'd get y squared. And y times negative 1, we would get negative 1y. So why don't you guys try these? And so doing this, we'd say 3 times x would make 3x. 3 times 1 would make 3. 7 times x would make 7x. 7 times negative 2 would make negative 14. X times 2 would make 2x. And x times 5x would make 5x squared. Now, in math, we want to rewrite this from our highest exponent to our lowest exponent. Remember, there's a invisible 1 right there. We don't need to write that in, but it's just we're writing from highest to lowest exponent. That's the proper form we want to use, and it'll just make our lives easier later on if we just get into that habit. So d times 2 would make 2d, and d times negative d would make negative d squared. Same thing here, negative d squared plus 2d. So let's talk about some terms now. A term are these individual terms that are separated by addition and subtraction signs. So I've got a term here and a term there. My terms for A would be 3x and 3. My terms for B would be 7x and negative 14. 5x squared and 2x and negative d squared and 2d. Those are all terms. A like term, would be if I have, let's say I had like 2x squared plus 3x plus 5 minus x squared. A like term needs to have a couple of things in common. They need to have the same variable, and that variable needs to be to the same power. So same variable, same power. So if we look at this, our like terms for this expression here would be 2x squared and negative x squared, because they both have the x variable, and that x variable is to the same power. So what can we do? We can combine like terms. So I'd say 2x squared minus x squared. Well, there's an invisible 1 there, so what's 2 minus 1? It's 1, so that makes x squared. We'd leave everything else alone because there aren't any more like terms. The 3x has an invisible 1, and the 5 is known as the 5, a number by itself without any variable, is called a constant term. A number in front of a variable. We've got a invisible 1 out in front, and we've got a 3 here. Those numbers out in front of variables are called coefficients. Coefficients. Next example, multiplying or distributing with a negative. This little negative sign out in front just means -1. So this would be -1x. -1 times 2 would make -2. My terms would be -x and -2. -2 is a constant term. My coefficient would be -1. -5 times x makes -5x. -5 times -3 makes 15. -3x times x makes -3x squared. -3x times 4 makes -12x. -9 times x makes -9x squared. And -9 times -2, well, I have two negative factors. That will make a positive 18x. Why don't you guys try and do these? -6 times x makes -6x. -6 times 3 makes -18. -3 times t makes -3t. -3 times 2 makes -6. -1 times 1 makes -1. -1 times -x makes positive x. And now I'm going to rewrite this as x minus 1. Now, they mean the exact same. This is just more of a standard form from highest exponent to lowest exponent. And d, -4x times 2x makes -8x. -8x squared. -4x times -3 makes positive 12x. Using mental math. You are shopping for a compact disc. You want to buy 6 compact discs for $11.95 each. Use the distributive property to calculate the total cost mentally. So we're going to do this mentally, but I'm going to show you what we're thinking. Let's say we've got a CD compact disc. For those of you who don't remember what that is, it's like a circle, like a record player, small record made out of plastic. Go in a CD player. My computer doesn't even have a disk drive anymore. Anyway, $11.95. So what is $11.95 close to? $11.95 is close to $12, right? And then what would I need to do to $12 to make it $11.95? I need to subtract 5 cents, because $12 minus 5 cents makes $11.95. And I want 6 of these, so we're going to multiply this by 6. So this is a distribution problem. Now in your head you can do this. You can say 6 times 12 makes 72. And 6 times a nickel, well, 6 nickels would make 30 cents. So we're going to subtract 30 cents. And $72 minus 30 cents would make $71.70. Try this one. So this is the exact same type of problem. We want 4 tires, and they're $44.98 each. Well, what's $44.98 really close to? $44.98 is really close to 45 bucks. What would I need to do to $45 to make it $44.98? Well, I need to subtract 2 cents, and I want 4 tires. So in your head you can say, well, 4 times 45, that might be difficult, but you know that doubling 45 makes 90, right? And so doubling that again would make 180. So 4 times 45 is 180. You could do that in your head. And 4 times 2 cents would be 8 cents. And $180 minus 8 cents would be $179.92. Our fifth example, distributing then combining like terms. Remember what a like term was? Combining like terms. A like term has the same variable and to the same power. Same variable, same power. So we multiply -4 times 4p and we get -16p. -4 times -3 and we get +12. And then we're subtracting 2p, and so we can see that -16p and -2p are like terms because they have the same variable p, and that p is to, both of them are to the first power. So then it's just, what's 16 minus 2? Well, that's -18. Keep our variable. So -18p plus 12. For our next one, 4 times 4x makes 16x. 4 times -2 makes -8. And we're adding 2 here. And so now our like terms are our constant terms. -8 and +2. So what's -8 plus 2? -8 plus 2 is -6. And we can't combine that with our 16x, so it's just 16x minus 6. So you guys try these. Gonna distribute 8 times 10x. Now I know that I'm gonna have this -7, so I'll just bring this down right off the bat. And 8 times 10a would make 80a, so we're adding 80a, and 8 times -2 would be -16. So what are our like terms? Our like terms are our constant terms. So -7 and -16. Remember, when we have the same sign and we're adding and subtracting, which we're doing, we're going to add the numbers together and keep the sign. So -7 and -16 makes -23. We could keep our 80a, and now we're in standard form because we're going highest exponent to lowest exponent. This one doesn't have an exponent. Next one, -8 times 7 is -56. -8 times -3 is +24k, and we need to add 6k. So we can see that 24k and 6k are like terms. 24 and 6 makes 30, so 30k. And we've got our -56, so minus 56. So today is our homework is homework number 3.